All right, let's go ahead and begin. So in a standing position here, we're going to start off with the shoulders. And what I'm going to do here is start off with some handcuff rotation. So what this one looks like is I'm going to keep my hands behind the head to start. So think about keeping the elbows out. Little one wants to play. And then from here, what I'm going to do is keeping that torso upright. I'm going to bring my arms out, rotate them down, and cross those fingers behind the back just like this. From there, I'm going to bring it back to that start position, and I'll repeat nice and slow. So these are called the handcuff rotation. What this is doing is helping us to mobilize the shoulder joint right now. So it requires some rotation on our end. Taking deep breaths in and out. This is a great one to do before any kind of upper body activity. You don't need much, you just need your body weight. You can also do this one in a prone position where you're onto your stomach as well. Those are a swimmer variation. Those are pretty challenging as well. And recover. Nice work, everyone. All right, from here, we're gonna get our scapula involved. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring our arms out about shoulder height and also about shoulder width. And all I'm going to do here is I'm trying to retract my shoulder blades, but I'm going to keep my arms straight on this one here. So my shoulder blades are the scapula here. And what I'm going to do is just squeeze my back right here. Think about trying to squeeze your shoulder blades together as if you have a toothpick and you're just trying to squeeze them. And then I'll just bring them back to normal here. So from here, I just squeeze down and back and forward. And it's not much that you're doing, by the way. It's just maybe an inch or so that you're just squeezing. My arms stay straight as I retract and squeeze. My goal here is to keep my shoulders down and back. If you haven't done this exercise before, it's a little foreign at first. Sometimes you might be asking yourself, what am I working here? So we're trying to get those mid-back muscles near the scapula. And we're just trying to get a nice little squeeze at the end. And recover. So that one was the first one where we're just trying to get the scapula involved. This next one here, we're going to do a low row, and this one's going to be a little easier to kind of learn how to use those muscles there. How this one works is I'm going to get my arms out in front of me. Now using the elbows as your guide, we're just going to pull down and back here. So I'm going to bring my arms forward. Once again, pulling them down and back. And the goal here, once again, is just to try to get those scapula involved. Now we're actually using the use of our arms. And we're pulling down and back. One more time. And recover. Nice work, everyone. From here, we're going to finish off with a flexion and extension of the shoulder, going into protraction to finish off, and then we'll move on to some hip work next. So protraction, retraction, I'm going to get my fingers together, and I'm going to keep my arms down like this. We've done this one independent before. We're just using both arms together. I'm going to slowly raise my arms above my head. Think about really trying to get a nice big stretch here. Now, if your neck moved, your goal is to try to keep your neck still while you do this one here. So if I was to look forward, I'm going to bring my arms back down, keeping them straight. And I want to keep my eyesight forward and reach up. Slowly bring it back down and repeat. The entire body is still for this exercise. We're trying to target the shoulders. And then as you get to the top part, you'll notice that that mid upper spine starts to get challenged as well. Inhale. Exhale. Keeping the body still. Let's do that one more time. And recover. Last but not least, we're going to go into protraction here. So we just did the retraction of our shoulder blades earlier, right? So we're going to place our fingers together, and this might help you to signal a little bit better on protraction right here. So my arms are going to be out like this. And I want you to imagine there's an object in front of your hands, and you're just constantly reaching for that object. And I'm going to tip my head down like this. And I'm now just trying to open up my spine. So I'm just gonna hold out here and open up. So I'm holding here, taking deep breaths in and out. The target area is your mid to upper back. So around the scapula, your head is down, you're just reaching forward. We did retraction before, which is where you're trying to squeeze them. Now we're trying to do protraction. We're just trying to open, expand, loosen up, and slowly recover. Whew. Nice work, everyone. All right, let's move into some windmill action before we get into the hips. So for the windmill, we're going to get one arm up, one arm is down. My feet are about shoulder width apart here. One arm is going to be down like this. And as one arm stays up, one arm goes down. This is my motion right here. I come back up, I reach back down, and I repeat. So this is a hip hinge motion where I'm bending at my hip. Both arms are straight, by the way. So one arm is down, one arm stays up. This is targeting the hips and the spine. Nice work, everyone. Let's do that 2 more times on this side here. One of my favorites to just loosen up pretty much everything in the body here. Bending at the hips, reaching down, and recover. Nice work, everyone. We're about to switch sides here. So one arm stays down, this arm stays up. Take your time. So I'm bending at my hip, the hip goes back, and I'm reaching for the floor. As far as your legs go, there's a little bit of a bend in the knee, right? But I'm not trying to squat this one. I'm not trying to squat down. I'm trying to bend at my hip while keeping my back flat. If you reach the floor, that's awesome. If not, it's not a requirement. We're just trying to see what our range of motion allows for today. No matter what kind of range of motion you have, you're still going to get a benefit from this movement. It adds in rotation, adds in a hinge at the hip, which we all really need if we're in our seated positions throughout the day or not moving too much. Nice. That one more time. And recover. Whew. Nice work, everyone. Coming up next, we're going to go with our squat opener and rotation. Now, if you've taken any of my classes, you've done this one. I really haven't done this one too much into mobility because it is pretty challenging. What you're going to do is your feet are about shoulder width apart, and we're going to reach and grab onto the shins, ankles, or toes. So from here, if I reach down, this is your start position. So go ahead and reach for your shins, ankles, or your toes. Now, what's going to happen here is I'm going to keep holding onto the shins, ankles, or toes, and I'm going to attempt to squat down while keeping the arms inside of my knees here. So when you're ready, you can go ahead and try this out. And then I'll go back to my start position, which was where the legs were straight. And then I'll go ahead and squat down again. My arms are going to be inside of my legs. And then I'll just repeat that motion nice and slow. Hips go back up. Hips go back down. Hips up. Hips down. Let's try that one more time. Bring the hips up. Nice big stretch here. Once again, feet are about hip to shoulder width apart. I'll squat down. I'll stand tall and catch our breath. Great job, everyone. Let's finish off with a little spine stretch here. I'll go ahead and use a chair, couch for this one for the finisher. From this one here, I'm going to grab my chair here. You can also use a table or a couch, and I'm going to place my hands about shoulder width onto that chair here. From here, I'm going to push my hips back and push that chest towards the floor, and I'm going to hold this position here. So this one is finishing off into our spine, into the shoulders. And just keeping that back flat, taking deep breaths in and out. You can slowly bring your torso up again, and then you can slowly push your torso back down towards the floor to get a deeper stretch. And slowly come up. Great job, everyone. All right, back to our seat. We'll get finish off with our neck for the day, and then that'll end our mobility session. So we just came from shoulders hitting into that hip position, and then that last one was to get into the spine one more time. For the neck here, I just want everyone to focus on the shoulders being down and back. So as we're sitting at the edge of our seat, especially when you go back to work today, think about keeping the torso upright, shoulders down and back. That's just imagine someone's hands here pushing your shoulders down. And what I'm gonna do is just some lateral motions here. So keeping my chin as my guide, I'm gonna look towards one direction here. Slowly switch towards the other direction. And these motions here are just to get some blood flow into the neck. So I'm just gonna repeat that side to side. These are pretty useful here during a meeting. If you woke up pretty sore, you were sleeping on one side a bit more, and just trying to play around with the range of motion here. Let's do that one more time per side. Great job. And then we're just going to finish off with some vertical motions here. So I'm going to use my chin as my guide, shoulders down and back as well. I'm going to use my chin. I'm just going to push it down and against my body here. And what this is getting, stretching out right now is the back portion of our neck. And then using that chin as a guide as well, I'm going to slowly point it towards the sky. Once again, I do want my shoulders down and back. And let's repeat that very slowly. Chin down. Chin up. Very slow. Shoulders stay down and back. Do that one more time, nice and slow. Think about getting a nice big stretch here, whatever your body can allow for the day. Slowly come on up. And recover. And a little shrug here to end off the day. Great job, everyone. That was our mobility class for today. Today was a bit more of a full body flow. Next week, we'll probably go a bit more specific. So if you have any requests for specific areas of the body for mobility, let me know in advance, or even if you're in class, you can put them in the chat. But today was full body. Next week, we'll probably focus a little bit more specifically, maybe on hips, or maybe just specifically on shoulders. Have a great rest of your week, everyone. And remember to sign up for our summer games. Last day to register is tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone. It is, Diane, I believe it is a individual, so you register on your own.